People often say survival is more about the path to hunger than hunger itself. To add excitement, the production crew invited 14 naked and afraid contestants for a fierce survival contest. There will be weekly tests of survival skills, but only one person can win the $1 million prize. Thus, you'll confront obstacles set by the producers while also being cautious of rival schemes. Participants endure 45 days in Africa's Mansour Valley wilderness. Teams can be formed freely, but tools cannot be shared. There's no waiting for teammates to recover here. Survival hinges solely on self-reliance, dismissing anyone seeking shortcuts. It mirrors a stripped-down Spartan race. What do you think of such a competition? Let's see who the contestants are. The environment here is truly harsh. With all sorts of dangerous animals, ordinary people wouldn't dare to venture here. The contestants, however, are looking forward to it. Everyone believes they can be the last one standing. Based on past performances, the show has rated the contestants. I didn't expect to be back. He has participated before and performed quite well, so his score is as high as 9.6, making him one of the favorites to win. I wonder if you remember Brent. He has always focused on hunting, providing the team with plenty of food. Despite a somewhat low score, Brent's confidence skyrockets, making him a standout. Keith, too, has faced numerous challenges. His performance in past challenges matched the men's. He's convinced he's going to win the prize. Despite facing fewer challenges, Darren boasts extensive survival skills. He notably lacks respect for veteran contestants. Darren believes they're mainly TV faces with mediocre skills. He's confident in his talk, but his actual performance in the challenge is yet to be proven. When it comes to seasoned competitors, Gary stands out. Given his age or challenge count, he's a true vet. His previous challenge was a flop, yet he's since trained hard, aiming to have the last laugh this time. Even though Trixie has completed 3 challenges, his strength is still questioned. He's here to prove his survival skills are strong. It's just that the editors cut a lot of his footage. The incoming score is even lower, mainly due to physical discomfort and not completing the challenge. Russell is not suited for teamwork, but this is an individual race, so he's quite confident he can win. And Kate has only completed 1 challenge and even had an emotional breakdown during it. I sometimes think I'm just filling space, yet Nick Away, with his charm and talent, has shone in previous contests. He's not sure he can win the prize, yet he's committed to seeing it through. Frando's been in for challenges, always working with a teammate to complete them. It's uncertain how he'll do on his own. Lindsay is quite confident in himself, thinking of nothing but winning. Trick, however, is a professional survivalist. Elle might not be as strong as the others, but his survival skills are terrifyingly strong. A very capable contestant. If anyone has the best chance of winning the prize money, it's definitely Jeff. He almost won in the last challenge and has survived the longest ever. Wilderness survival enthusiasts recognize his strength. The winnings might just cover the other contestants' medical bills. Given my involvement, the psychological strain on them is already high. Contestants are beginning to enter the competition, and so far, they've only got an empty bag. They don't yet know what challenges lie ahead, seeing many familiar faces among the contestants. Jeff is aware of the difficulty ahead. Dank finds this intriguing, seeing himself as his main rival. Confident he can overcome any challenge. Concept didn't expect the show to invite so many people. Everyone's quite skilled, revealing the show's tough challenges ahead. They've split the challenge by gender groups. Sharpening rocks into cutting knives is a key survival skill. Once you decide on your tool, cut a rope to get a knife. Then simulate retrieving a map from a group of crocodiles by making a primitive hook to pull it back. The last man and woman to finish will be eliminated. No one expected someone to be eliminated right at the start, making it the shortest challenge in history. There's no time for idle chat. Immediately, everyone dashes to the uncle's side, seeking bone fragments to sharpen. Determined not to be the first eliminated, all are putting in maximum effort, traveling while looking for suitable stones. Brent had previously made a very sharp blade, but finding the right stone here is not easy. Particularly with others close by, the tension is high. All have begun their attempts at sharpening and cutting. Darren not only has rich experience in sharpening, but also got a perfect fit for the eye. The neighbor hasn't even started sharpening. He's swiftly sliced through the rope already, sending a wave of pressure among the competitors. Darren did it in under 30 seconds. For him, just using his hands suffices. Many struggled to cut, often picking unsuitable stones. Honing the stones proved especially hard. Among the women, not even half the rope was cut. Donna's blade went dull, requiring another sharpening. Only Kay's situation was slightly better, managing to cut the rope and quickly move on to the next challenge. Lexi was right behind, slicing through her rope. Now, Darren's ahead with a big lead. It hinges on his speed to grab the map. In the blistering heat, as they hurry to finish the task, it's almost as if the air smells of roasting meat. He's puzzled over how to make his creation more stable. He aims to utilize the tree frame for binding things. Trick skillfully sliced the rope, with Frando and Dank quickly following suit. The pressure mounted for the others. Kays and Lexi hustled to collect materials for a creation to secure the map. They were keen to stay ahead, not letting anyone catch up. Tracy quickly cut the rope, too focused to notice others around him. He just wanted to quickly catch up with those ahead. Kate closely followed, cutting the rope. Lindsay was a bit slower, but also got it done. Danny alone was still making an effort. Each had unique plans to toss something at the map and retrieve it. They had to add the weight of a stone. Kay's was almost done. Lexi was quite anxious about this. Despite being unaware of the first place prize, his desire to win was strong. Among the men, Russell and Gary had successfully severed the rope. Jeff and Brent were making an effort. Jeff was quite anxious about this. He definitely didn't want to be the first eliminated. Even if the blade was no longer sharp, he miraculously succeeded in cutting through with his determination. Now, only Brent was left. Dank intended to employ a mix of thrift and rope. Trimming those prickly bushes hurt. Kays and Lexi had readied hooks for their attempt. Lexi immediately rushed down, surpassing Kays to become the first to throw. It looks simple, but it's not easy to operate. Danny finally managed to cut the rope. He was already far behind the other contestants and had to hurry to catch up. Upon seeing the map's layout, Gary instantly had a plan. He quickly tied the stone to the rope. Gary didn't require branches as his peers did. While they attempted with hooks, Brent was on the hunt for stones to sharpen and slice. He couldn't afford to think too much and had to focus on cutting. After much effort, he finally got it done. He lagged significantly behind the others, casting doubt on his ability to recover and stage a comeback. Time will tell. Seeing that everyone had already made hooks, Brent had to find a way to save time. Jeff wrapped a rope around a branch. It looked like a life buoy, so it took a bit longer to make. In contrast, Gary just tied a stone. Successfully securing the map indicated that someone was nearing the challenge end. Gary reached the goal, allowing him to rest and await the others. On the women's side, Tracy was already complaining. Lee thought she should switch to a smaller one, as it was too exhausting. Keith took his time, content not being last, and still secured the map. Anxiety ran high among the other contestants. Tracy also rested at the destination, with Keith arriving shortly after. Jeff felt it was similar to fishing. You can't hurry. Preparing tools is key. Russell found it tougher than anticipated, failing repeatedly despite many tries. Meanwhile, Trick next door had already gotten it and was heading to the destination. Danny was just starting to try. If others weren't still making hooks, she would have been extremely anxious. Linda also got the map. Brent had just finished the hook. Now, only Jeff hadn't reached the water. Was Jeff facing elimination on day one? Meanwhile, the women persisted. Kate and Lindsay secured the map too. They quickly headed to the wooded area. Noticing some hadn't departed yet, Jeff believed he still stood a chance. Fernando secured the map and quickly headed to the woods, followed by Dank's successful completion. Although Jeff spent a lot of time making tools, he got the map in less than a minute. Jeff was extremely excited. He safely finished the initial part of the challenge. Now, only Russell and Brent remained, competing to secure the map first. With some effort, Brent successfully got the map, so even if he was the last to cut the rope, he still completed the challenge successfully. Unfortunately, Russell's rope snapped, leaving him mapless. Danny and Lacey, in the nice group, matched in strength. Their stamina rapidly drained. Luck played a key role. After many tries, Danny managed to secure the map. Lacey got the map not long after Danny left. Although she was a bit behind, she still had a chance to catch up. Seeing Lacey rushing over, Danny also sped up. In the end, Danny arrived at the destination first. Tracy could only announce his elimination. He had an advantage at the beginning. If only he had chosen a better stick, maybe things would have turned out differently. LaSalle thought he rushed it. Had he taken more time to pick the right tree, he could have possibly finished the task. Within less than half a day, the production team was already sending them home. Emotions were a complex mix, with hopes of a future invite. The survivors now moved to their next challenge location. Pondering their future allies, they faced a race against the setting sun to construct shelters. Dangerous animals were everywhere, and it would become even more dangerous at night. Tracy was just about to tidy up the shelter when he saw Flondo approaching, and Dank came from the other side. The team members finally gathered together. Given the 45-day challenge, teamwork is key. Gary reached the spot first. Taking advantage of his teammate's absence, he also started a fire. Lindsay heard his voice and walked over happily, having cooperated before. Finally, Danny also arrived at the gathering smoothly. He felt his team was quite strong. At least early on, there wasn't much cause for concern. No time for looking back now, they needed to quickly get the shelter done. Case had begun chopping trees when Darren walked up. Their initial collaboration felt somewhat uneasy. Just then, Brent joined them, somehow making the atmosphere even more strained. Both were known for their short tempers. Case hoped the cooperation would go smoothly. Kate and Trick also met up successfully. Worried about Kate's temperamental nature, they really didn't want to be in the same group as Jeff, knowing he would definitely play tricks. Ironically, the remaining team member was Jeff. This was their worst fear, creating ideal drama for the show. They considered dropping out of the challenge. Kate had never finished a challenge, and Trick was new to 40-day events. Jeff doubted their teamwork would succeed. Doubts lingered about their 45-day partnership. Kate bluntly told Jeff to stay serious, not wanting constant vigilance. The group's vibe was notably tense. Glancing at Kathy's team, they'd already constructed a thorn barrier. Unfortunately, they hadn't found any water source and would have to search again in the morning. Gary's group also used logs to build a wall. Danny has no experience in Africa, which really worries Lindsay, especially since he's a vegetarian. Gary doubts he'll be able to hold on. Looking at Danny's team, Danny has never made a fence before. Tracy has never been to Africa either, and is extremely nervous about what might happen at night as it gets darker. The animals around start to become more active. Keith's team thinks it's manageable and isn't worried about hunting dogs sneaking in. It's just that the sound of barking is a bit annoying. The wind on Gary's side is quite strong, making him shiver with cold. The worst part is the constant sound of hunting dogs. In this setting, good sleep is elusive. Trick's also struggling, battered by the wind and anxious about a potential midnight storm. Finally, it's the next day. Danny didn't sleep well last night and is worried about a heavy rain. Now, they can only collect some dry grass for lying down to rest, and to use it on the roof for water resistance. It's time to see what challenges the production team has prepared. The locations of items are marked on the map. Securing the items will be tough. Everyone's debating which ones to aim for, but remember, sharing's not allowed. Everyone wants to get those tools. So, what to do? Danny thinks the production team is devilish. It's hard for teams not to have conflicts. Trading tools is exclusive to other camps. Scarce resources mean early birds have the upper hand. Danny proposes targeting the bow and arrow initially. Get it first, then decide on ownership. Meanwhile, Keith's team decides to split up. They want both hunting tools and fish hooks. Jeff's team also plans to split up to get them. After some discussion, everyone starts to move. The production team place the bows and arrows on baobab trees. Ordinary people can't climb up there by hand. Tools are necessary to get up smoothly. Only 2 trees have them. Teams have already met rivals, all eager to secure them swiftly. Crafting a ladder emerges as the optimal strategy. Currently, larger teams have a benefit, speeding up construction. Galen's crew intends to employ Y-shaped branches for climbing, so that people can climb up. Jeff plans to throw a rope up and then place 2 ladder supports on top. The concept is solid, but Kate forgot the rope, showing a clear experience gap. With no alternatives, Jeff must return to fetch it. Danny's crew aims to craft a solo fixed rope. It's quicker but less stable. Darren thinks his odds are slim, unless their ladder has an accident. Keith and Brent go to look for fishing tools. After all, no other players have come. At last, I'm a bit more at ease. The tools are hidden in the catfish hole. It's a game of patience and some luck. Keith dives in to look, while Danny's got the rope ready and tossed it. Now, it hinges on Danny's ability to climb. Though it was a bit tough, the speed was truly fast. In no time, he had successfully climbed up. With a bit of effort cutting with the knife, we finally got the bow and arrow. The first team effort wasn't too bad. With no other choice, Darren had to check elsewhere. Jeff returned with the rope just as Darren got there, while Gary was still working on the ladder. They prefer a cautious approach to check the rope's reliability, yet Jeff's impatience leads him to hastily secure it. He attempts to toss it at the tree and, fortunately, it catches. Attempting to climb, he steps on it, but it's hardly a ladder. It's essentially a stick-laden rope. Jeff exhausted himself trying to climb, but failed. Remember, in this contest, trickery is quite common. Seeing the rope unguarded, Danny just took it. This made Gary extremely happy, while Jeff was furious. Didn't throw anything last challenge. Now with the rope gone, all I want is Danny out. Gary's team smoothly shifted the branches, surpassing expectations. Gary has climbed up successfully. Lindsay and Danny need to keep their grip, or Gary will plummet. He's not quite reached the bow and arrow yet. Gary skillfully used the knife to secure the bow and arrow. Seizing an opportunity for revenge, Jeff quickly moved to grab them. Gary quickly cautioned him with the blade, noting how easily accidents occur. Luckily, Jeff showed restraint. This could have easily led to a clash. Jeff seemed a bit thievish, I reckon. Gary and Lindsay are impressed with Danny's performance, not only suggesting how to build the ladder, but also sneaking the rope over. Gary is more and more satisfied with him. The competitors have already snagged the bow and arrow. Frando, however, sets his sights on the fishing gear. Following a brief chat, the group agrees to divide and conquer. After a lengthy search, Keith, battling stronger winds, spots something unique and secures the fishing tools amidst his activities. Currently, just 2 remain unclaimed. Jeff and Derek have joined forces, yet they've still not located the survival gear. Derek didn't expect that his team didn't get anything, and the rope was taken away. He felt really bad at that moment. As soon as Flondo's team reached the pond, they immediately began to explore and search. Fortunately, Kay's only took one and left. I'm clueless about the other one's hiding spot. Despite Jeff's team lagging behind, snagging that survival tool could turn their luck around. Securing the tool is challenging. Keith's crew eyes the same gear. Deng sets off to find it. Meanwhile, Jeff's squad uncovers the tool first. Following Danny's sly tactic, he opted for a covert approach. Unbeknownst to the Case team, they were unwittingly making their way there too. Unbeknownst to them, Jeff is also on the hunt for survival tools, cleverly staying under the radar. Leveraging branches, Jeff retrieved the survival tool, which was a beast skin, perfect for warmth at night. Holding it, he breathed a sigh of relief. Their confidence began to return. Jeff offered Kate the beast skin, not wanting her out of the game so early. Frando had been in the pond for quite a while, but after much effort and searching, he finally found the hole. The rain gear and hooks are here. With all items gathered, each person has gained. Now, the priority is to. Even with Kay's organizing and staying close to the fire, it still feels unbearably cold. Other participants are struggling too. Only Kate's beast skin is a bit more comfortable. Who knows what challenges we'll face next? Let's wait and see together.